Hello and welcome back to Exothermic Plays Games. I'm Exothermic and the date today is Wednesday, March 6th, 2024. That means it's the 66th day of ranking my favorite video games through each day of the year. Coming in at number 301 is Theatrhythm Final Fantasy. Theatrhythm is a rhythm game for the Nintendo 3DS using characters and music from the Final Fantasy franchise, at this point almost entirely composed by the brilliant Nobuo Uematsu. There are different types of stages that all involve using the stylus in different ways. Before I get too far here, I do want to provide an excuse for my sloppy play. Using a mouse with an emulator is much harder than using a stylus on a touchscreen. There are 4 types of levels in Theatrhythm, each using music appropriate for the name. First, there's opening or ending music, with notes just moving inward on a crystal and you tap them as they reach the center. These stages are skippable, but they do provide points you need to unlock more content in the game. The next type is field music stages, which involve one character at a time walking through a field. You tap, swipe, or hold the stylus on the screen as your character walks through the levels and reaches the notes. For tapping, you can tap anywhere on the screen. For swipes, you just need to perform a quick movement in the direction of the arrow on the note. For holding, however, it doesn't matter where you start the hold, but you do have to follow along on the path presented on the top screen. If you mess up too much, your character is replaced with the next member of your party. If you do well, the character speeds up and you can even turn into a chocobo to run really fast through the level. The third type of stage is battle music sequences, and you fight a variety of enemies from that respective game. Notes come barreling down on each member of your party, and again you have to tap, hold, or swipe the stylus. In this one, however, you don't need to follow a path while holding, but with 4 bars coming at you all the time, you may need to do a lot more furious swiping. The last stage type is event music stages, with music from cutscenes throughout the franchise. The cutscene itself plays in the background, at least in parts, and you do the music. Yet again, you tap, swipe, or hold on the screen with the stylus as you reach the notes. Like the battle sequences, you don't need to follow along on the screen with the holds, even though they are moving around. If you're doing well when you get to the end of the stage, it'll extend up to 2 times to push your score even further and finish the music. There's a few ways to access these stages. First, you can do series play, which has you doing an intro and then one of each of the main stage types, and finally the outro all in succession for a singular game. Once you've beaten that, you're able to play those songs individually in the challenge mode, even increasing the difficulty of the stage if you want. Over time, you'll unlock hidden levels in the Chaos Shrine. These songs could be from a variety of games, and you go through 3 stages in a row, earning colored crystals if you beat them. Many of these songs are the most challenging way to play them, with a large variety of Chaos Shrines available to really allow players to push themselves. Now that we've talked about the stages, let's talk about characters. You select a party made up initially of the main protagonists for each mainline Final Fantasy title, at least at the time of the game's release, and set off for adventure. As you play with these characters, they level up, learn new abilities, and you can change held items with different effects and their ability loadout. So what do stats do in a rhythm game? Most of them have to do with the battle sequences, because when you miss notes, you do take damage to your health, and you also gain points and loot by defeating enemies. Remember those colored crystals from the Chaos Shrine? That's how you unlock additional characters. If you collect enough of the same color crystal, you can turn them in to unlock new people. They're not all protagonists though. For example, you can play as Sephiroth. Theatrhythm is an interesting rhythm game that released during the tail end of the height of popularity for the genre. While it didn't have the depth of mechanics that some other titles had, or the flashy peripherals, being able to do a full rhythm game on the go was pretty great, and being a big fan of the Final Fantasy franchise, the music holds a special place in my heart. Getting to play them whenever I wanted to turned a fairly meh rhythm game into something that truly stood out and felt special. Join me tomorrow as I talk about the 300th game on my list, where I need food badly.